Hello, Gary Hernandez here, and welcome to Kane Self-Defense with Master Gary Hernandez. In this video, I want to cover a good way to set up a nice training area for your three safety zones when you're training by yourself. And what the three zones are, if you don't know what they are, I've done them in videos before. I'm going to kind of go over that real quick. I'm going to use this Bob versus to re-go over the zones again, because you have three zones in self-defense. You have a red zone, you have a yellow zone, and you have a green zone. Your red zone is simply, if I'm close enough to touch, hit, or stab them, they're close enough to do the same. Then you have your yellow zone. Your yellow zone is the one that's a little bit more trickier because you look like you're more out of arm's reach and maybe you got time to do something, but one quick lunge and that individual can either hit you, stab you, or grab you. Then you've got your green zone. And that means they got to take a couple of steps to get towards you, which means you have time to either fight or flight or set up for something at least. So with this, I'm going to take this Bob versus out of here, and I'm going to show you things you can get that's real cheap, that you can set up anywhere, break it down, put it together, and move it around so you can judge different distances. Let's take him out of the way. Now, what I did here was, and I used this before many times, is I simply wanted to put up a nice visual aid zone to help, because I think visual aid works really well when someone's first learning stuff. And what I did was I set up my three different zones. Now, before anybody says anything, yes, I do not have a yellow pool noodle. I was looking for one, could not find one anywhere around me. I can order one, which I'll do down the road. So I'm using the purple one, because right now I have my green zone, my purple one is going to be my yellow zone, and I have my red zone. Now, because I like having the different colors because it helps understanding those zones. Kind of like a traffic light. You know, you have a red light, you have a yellow light, and you have a green light. Now, since maybe you don't have a bob and you don't want to lug a heavy kick bag around, so you're going to use, and this is just for judging distance, remember. I did a video a couple weeks back on training by yourself using different bags and stuff. Now, this is just covering zones, because I think the zones are very important, because somebody can get to you pretty quick and you need to know whether you're close enough to hit them with a swing or with a bayonet strike. Now, my blue one's going to be my aggressive tacker. So I'm going to set that there. Now, all I did was I got these little cones at Home Depot a long time ago. They're about $3 something. You could probably buy a pack of small ones for pretty cheap. So you can get for under $5, you can definitely probably get a couple of the smaller cones. And then I went ahead and I put, right now I'm using my bow staffs, but you can put a stick, a broom handle, anything you want in there. And then I went to the dollar store and bought pool noodles for $1. And I jammed them in there. Now, if you have something they don't fit, you can always cut the pool noodle, open it up, and wrap it around. And again, I wish I would have got a yellow one, but I got to order one and have it delivered. So anyway, this is going to work for now. And you don't have to set it up by the colors. You can put whatever you want, to be honest with you, and know that that's going to be your green, that's going to be your yellow, and that's going to be your red. Again, I like having the different colors because I think it does help a little bit more when you're training into it. Now, like I talked about the red zone, and what's good about these is you can move them around. You can actually make these cones distance-wise be a taller individual with a lot of reach or a shorter individual with less reach. And remember, the zones aren't there for them. The zones are for you to train and understand that that person's in that zone. Okay, that bad guy is kind of be moving around. He might close the gap step, but who knows? So you want to know what the zones are. So when you're setting that up, I got my red zone. Now understand, I put it to where I can touch it with my hand. Now I have my cane. So that means I'm going to have to practice a block and a quick strike. Now, if I hit this hard, obviously I'm going to knock this over because it's not somehow connected to the floor. It's just sitting there. If I hit it hard, it's going to go over. But I'm not going to break nothing. You're just going to have to pick it up. So again, I have my red zone. And again, I can make this guy taller to where he feels more comfortable back. But then he starts getting out of my red zone. So I want to put him in my red zone to where I know that he can hit me. But let's say he's taller and I can't touch him, but he can reach me. Then you can move it back a little bit further because you can set these up wherever you want them. So here's my red zone. So I can practice stepping out of my red zone and having to strike with him, or coming in and giving him a bayonet strike. Now I have my yellow zone, aka purple. And now understand, this one, he looks further away, but I can reach out and hit him with my cane. But if he doesn't have a cane, he looks misleading. But he can still lunge out and hit me, stab me, or grab me. So that's why I worry about the yellow zone a lot. And I try never to get in the red zone. Then you have your green zone. And here it is, my green zone. It tells me right now if he steps in, I have time to either fight or flight, or at least prepare for something coming in. So that's what I like about setting up these zones, especially when I'm working with my students. It gives them a time, or it gives them something to look at and judge distance. And again, we can set it up as though the attacker is shorter or taller. So it's just up to you. And what's good about having this set up is the fact that you can work going from zone to zone. I'm in my red zone. He starts to step in my red zone. I step into my yellow zone, which puts him back into a red zone so I can hit him. Because if I don't do nothing, he's going to hit me. So as I'm moving back, he's having to move forward, and then I'm going to hit him. Or I could take 2 steps back, get into my green zone, and swing at him, and I can see where's my swing going. My swing is going almost to my red. If I lean out, it'll go to my red zone. So now you get a chance to judge your cane strikes. You get a chance to judge your motion and movement of what zones you're covering, going to or from. So it does help with that. What's also good about setting this up, besides being very cheap, I mean, you can set this whole thing up for less than $10. You know, you got four pool noodles. That's $4. You can probably get a pack of small cones. You got to make sure the cones are strong enough to hold up the stick, though. So these are Home Depots. They were like $3 at the time. So you got what, $12, and then so $16 right here. So you know you can set it up, and probably cheaper than that if you look around and go online. But what's also good is the fact I can move these. I can set this up in about a minute, put them down, boom, boom, and I can break them apart or move them in a minute. So if you're really in an area where you don't have a lot of room, you can set this up. You can set it up in your bedroom. Just obviously you got to watch your furniture when you're swinging. You don't have to swing hard. You can just maneuver, swing, and practice. You can set up in a hallway. You just got to watch your roof, obviously. You can set it up outside on the concrete. If it gets wet, so what? It's a pool noodle. They're meant for the pool. So it's a good, cheap way to set it up, but it gives you that visual aid that you can use. And make sure that you're stepping the right areas. You can step to one side and then practice your techniques, whatever you want. Again, it's just a good, fun way to practice that reality of distance, because you're going to set up that distance. So hopefully that tip helps. If you guys get an opportunity you've never had, subscribe to the channel. I know I haven't been coming on a lot lately, but I plan on changing that. I've been busy with my other businesses, the Berna, my students online, as well as the physical school. But I'll be getting here on YouTube some more often very soon. Again, thank you very much. And if I don't talk to anybody between now and Christmas, have a great Christmas and a safe one. But hopefully I'll see you guys before then. Hernandez, thank you very much, and talk to you guys very soon. Bye.